One of my reasons to sort of get very, very cautious is that I love looking at this indicator. This is the S&P realized. So this is the blue is realized volatility. That just means actual movement in markets, but very short term, 10-day. So I like to look at the 10-day versus the 1-month option pricing. So this is 10-day movement versus 30-day actual option pricing. So think of that as the VIX, basically. So what happens is things kind of move around. We have relatively normal volatility, and then we occasionally get these periods where everything just dries up. And it happens just like it did recently, where you get into those mid-single digits realized volatility, and it feels like nothing bad can ever happen again. And that was the reason for that put-sharp ratio chart, which showed you that selling puts was almost guaranteed money. I mean, you couldn't lose. And so what happens is option pricing no longer drops. It drops up to a certain point, but it doesn't want to drop anymore. You notice how the VIX doesn't go to 5? That never happened. Occasionally it got into the 9s in the 2017s, but it does not drop below a certain point because it says, I've been around a long time. This isn't my first rodeo. We're going to stay in there. But what happens is everything gets quieter and quieter. What's this gap here? This is volatility risk premium. Technically, this is a very positive time to be selling options because you're getting this big gap between what's the insurance company charging and what's the risk in the market. Well, there's a big gap there. You're Warren Buffett selling up here and there are no claims on your house insurance down here. But the problem is when you see this, as you saw it here again, as you saw it here, as you saw it here, as we saw it last week, you get this big gap. That is always a warning. So if you guys want to watch one thing, it is realized volatility, like a 10 to 20-day measure. And when it gets into the single digits again, meaning below 10, especially down towards 6, that is a warning. It is like, it keeps happening every July because July is such a strong market seasonally and everything gets so quiet and people feel like, well, we can never lose again being long just about everything under the sun. And then you get one day like that. Now, it was a day and that was it. So we'll see if there's still a little bit of damage on some of those charts. So we'll have to see if we recover. I don't think we fully recover yet, but
join Samantha and Hans at the next Macro to Micro Options Power Hour held each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Registration is free. Scan this QR code or click on the link in the description.